Dracula on my face. I used to, growing up in the 80s. So, hello everybody watching back on playback. It's been an interesting day. And just took a break from the net. Did some private little readings on the Nancy Guthrie case, which I don't know if I will do a video and upload and share, but as always, my thoughts are with the family and the friends, and we hope that she is found soon. And Jonathan, aloha! And as always, any prayers to everybody around the world, especially our little neck of the woods here in the great United States of America. But I don't want to turn this into a political because, yeah, homie don't play that way. Homie ain't got no time. So I can't see. So when Jonathan, when you said hi, I only saw that for a second because I have my iPad vertical. When you want something vertical, but you have to, let's see how we get here. So, oh my goodness. Oh, that's not a very flattering, here. There, that's more flattering. And now why is this little symbol thingy here? Now I can't see chat at all. What happened to you guys? Orientation is locked. Rotate device back. Nope. What the frig? Does this do anything? No. No, I don't want a green screen. What the hell? No green screen. No. Just go. There we go. So why is this not letting me? Hello. Why is this not me do? It's weird, Jonathan. It won't get rid of this little orientation lock thingy on here. How am I supposed to get rid of that? Oh, I am on an iPad. That's why. So I cannot see anybody's comment. Good morning. See, I see someone making a comment and then I can't. All right, well, I might as well go back to this rotation. Hello, Misty. There is snow on your head. Well, thank you very much. Hello, how are you? Yes, it's called gray. I have earned it. How about you? I'm in a feisty mood today. Saucy and feisty. So I have a, for people who are popping in, I have a channel. My channel is by Brushbone and Indigo Ash. I am a tarot oracle reader, but first and foremost, I am an artist, I am a poet, and I love to include my creative talents in with my channel, with my cards and my readings. And so today I felt like doing a pop-up. It's locked when you go live. And so the only time I get to respond is if, oh, look at that, I lost a bunch of people. Well, hey, tarot readers, tarot, spiritual, crystals, not everybody's bag, but you know. I must really get thrown into the algorithms when I do my pop-up lives because I have not seen that many people, Jonathan, pop up that quickly in quite some time. But so let's share a little bit of the art that I am talking about. So Jonathan, I just sent you a message. You need to get a hold of Lori so she can finish her gorgeous oil pastel. So this is what I am currently working on. As many of you know who are my regulars, I am highly influenced with a certain, a recent series that I'm working on by the music of the newest Florence and the Machine album. Everybody scream! Hello, so I can't really talk to folks because my iPad, gotta love Apple, is not letting me continue to see my audience. And boy, I dropped down to 3, folks. Well, I have um, my tarot. Boo! Hey, Jax, I know you're there. So is this, if that's, the algorithm favors this over landscape orientation? I don't know, but I can't see unless when someone makes a comment, I have like a 5-second window to respond. If I don't, then, wait a minute, what is this? What's this little share? No. What about this? Let's see, chat viewing options. All messages are visible, live chat. So we're, there you guys are. Hello. So there's John Medeiros is here. Gypsy JJ is here. Alrighty. So Irene popped in. So yeah, I am, and there's Ellie. Hello, Ellie, if you are still here. So yeah, okay, with this orientation, I know I'm making everybody dizzy. Here, let me see if I can drop this a little bit. Hope everybody is having a great day. I just want fired up. Took a little break. Was on Instagram, saw some awesome hysterical videos. There's this dude. What's this? I can't think of his name right now. He's on Instagram. You type in like The Cure, or fan sites for The Cure, and now everybody disappeared again. Where'd you all go? So I only get to keep you on for hide all chat messages. I don't want to hide all chat messages. So there we go. And this dude, he sings songs. He can sing like with Bowie's voice, but he's really good at The Cure as Robert Smith. And see, it won't keep it says here all messages are visible. Yeah, but it doesn't stay on. Let's see, learn more. Maybe I can do, no, I don't have time for that. So I'll have to hit the thing every few minutes to say hi to everybody. But his voice sounds just like Smith, and he does some really good parodies and just really good covers as well. So today I have this. Shannon's making my tea. So yeah, I'm working on this piece. I wish everyone could see it when I'm working on. It's really funny here. I gotta figure out how to get another camera set up at some point. But I did bring my Artist Decoded because they're my favorite artistic cards. I mean, look how gorgeous that is. And yes, it is AI, but it's AI created by an artist themselves, which incorporates his work along with an AI generator. So, and they're all about creativity. Let's see if I can do this a little bit. Yes, no, kind of, sort of, maybe. Alrighty. And Heather's going to have some more caffeine. See, you all can't really see it. So there we go. And let me tap this again. I have to keep tapping this to see everybody. I saw your message but didn't read it yet. Aha. So we got to kind of get an idea of a date for Miss Lori. Craigie Brooke Witchery. Fantastic. She does, witchy videos, tarot videos, but she is an incredible artist. And he's avoiding the camera at all costs. Ha ha! There you go. Say hi, Shan. And Shan will be joining me this Friday with Allison, Aries Girl Tarot, and Tom, Early Ritual, and to be talking about some paranormal stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Boom! I went from 13 down to 3. This is hysterical. But, Heather is... Yeah, Jonathan says, hi, Shan. So a cheers. I prefer landscape. Yeah. I don't think I can change that. But then if I do landscape, then this part is all up in everybody's face. I don't know if y'all want to see that. So yeah, I'm working on that painting. I try to kind of focus on a song currently from the album that I feel like the paint and the colors mix well with. I mean, I still paint when I'm listening to her whole album. But this one here, the name of the song. and I thought I knew what love was. No, wait a minute. No, I've been bragging about this album for how long, and there's like 13 songs or so on this album. Um, but my phone's not with me, it's over there. So eventually, it's the second last song. Um, for me, a lot of times the titles they just kind of blur. I mean, the music is just so beautiful. Maybe the 27th. We'll take a look at that. Cool. So let's get this party started, like we haven't already. But for those who are interested in my paints, I paint what I can afford, especially when it comes to canvas. There is a particular retail outlet that is not very popular with a lot of us, which is understandable. I am not the biggest fan of Hobby Lobby because of their politics and whatnots, but um, they do not, um, what's that, price gouge with their art supplies. And I have tried a couple of other brands now from Michaels and from Liquitex. I started this the other week when we had Lennon on last Friday. It's coming along. That was the one I started with you, Jonathan and Lennon. This was on a recycled um, canvas made out of plastic bottles, which is very cool. However, it takes even the acrylics forever to dry. And I like the surface, I like the tension, it's well made. I just don't know. I mean, I don't want them to, dry right away, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I need to get layers. So right now, I'm a little out of, not quite sure yet. We're still out of the gates on that one. But I have looked, Blick, Michaels, I don't trust really anymore with their canvas. Sorry, Michaels, but when you sell canvas and then your inner corners are all dented, no. And I have to spray. Maybe we can get a wet technique for those canvases. A wet on wet, yeah, maybe. I was gonna make a joke about wet on wet techniques, but I digress. Although Heather is feeling kind of spicy and saucy today. I don't know. I feel like I have to be because there is just so much shit going on in our country. And I'm just about done with it. And thank goodness for my counselor, my EMDR, because I am finding ways of now being able to contain everything that's going on out there and here into a nice little container. Highly recommend EMDR. Whoops, nope, hold on a second. I gotta catch up here because they keep taking my chat away. Let's see, she's back, playing my samurai game. Let me see again, honey. You mean this one here that I started? So this is the one that I started with Jonathan. Take out when you dip too low. What does that mean? Dip out when I take too low. Not sure what that means. I just wish the damn thing would stay where I can see everybody. Just breathe. You don't have to look if you're triggered. There's those that can. Oh, at the new, it's everywhere. But no, Gypsy, this is the one I'm working on today. I've really been feeling browns, golds, yellows, earthy colors. And so, like I was saying, with the canvas, hopefully at some point, because I researched Dick Blick. They don't go by Dick Blick anymore. They go by Blick. Yeah. So the green and goldish one. Yep, it's not done yet. But this is acrylic on canvas. Those are relatively reasonable at a local shop not far from me. But Dick Blick, Michaels, maybe Walmart. I'll have to check out Walmart. But I can get like my beautiful 24 by 36 or 24 by 30 canvases. The larger ones, it's like 18.99 at hey Moira, it's like 18.99 at Hobby Lobby. Anywhere else I go, they're like between $50 and $70. I mean, come on, that's a price gouge. And their canvases are, so I might play around with some Walmart, we'll see. But I do like the edges that do have the gallery because that way you don't have to frame their gallery wrap so they can just hang right on the wall. So Moira is here. Um, oh no, Irene. What's going on, Irene? Oh yeah. Turn it over and see grand piano. You can see like a piano on it. There were lines and stuff in there. Kind of cool. But yeah, it's early stages, so that's not anywhere near being finished. Oh, it's giving Mirkwood. Take out when you dip too low. What does that mean? Lori! Lori, I was just talking about you. Jonathan and I wanted to ask, we're maybe looking at the 27th because his son is going on break soon from school for our spring break. And we're looking at, so far, that's the date he has. Let us know if that might work for you. The only art store, whoops, no, I don't want to put user out. Oh, this won't let me keep my chat up. The only art store on island is the Ben Franklin. I remember that over in New Hampshire. And Ace and the occasional Ross. Ugh, yeah. When it gets to be too much, stop. Back your Barbie. No, I don't want to report that. Oh, I keep wanting to highlight, but everyone can see it there, so. But yeah, so Lori, I just felt like popping on, telling everybody how you have that beautiful oil pastel that you're working on. And this is what I'm working on currently. Oops. See, this is why I should have used my laptop. So this is what I'm currently working on. And so, of course, listen to Florence and her machine, her well-oiled machine. Everybody's Green, amazing album again. So, just talking about my material. So I'm hoping at some point, I can find something that's decent and price worthy. But right now, you got to do what you got to do to make sense. So there are some colors. I don't really buy their acrylics anymore. I'm just using up the Hobby Lobby brand for the acrylics. The only thing I would ever go then there for is their just their canvas because it's well priced, it's affordable, it's well made, it's professional grade to me. And so, but also again, our local Ashland company, Natural Earth Paint, they ship globally, and these are all plant-based paints, non-toxic, handcrafted, plant-based, archival, eco-friendly, water-resistant paint, and they're all made here in Ashland, Oregon, and it's a solar-powered facility. Let's see, I'm glad I've been collecting art supplies for decades. There you go. Art supplies are so expensive, Moira. They are, and of course, because these are all natural, plant-based, no preservatives and stuff and whatnot. They cost a little more, but not as much difference as a golden. I do love golden, so I'm working out of the Master's Touch. Let's just say Master's Touch, so we don't use the triggering HL name. But yeah, I have several tubes of that now. The goldens, I've been playing with their open, and the open means they take a little longer to dry. Here, yes and no, again, because of the low humidity. So, but yeah, I just wish that I could show more. I'm happy to work in oils this summer outside. Oh, I miss working in oils. Although I think I might have gotten a bit, there we go. well, sort of. Well, y'all can see a little bit of, so there we go. So yeah, of course, love my, I took this, I got this in, one good thing I got from Michael's that I will go back for again. These lovely little ceramic cauldrons that I use for my paint water. I also have my moon water from the full moons. So this is the brand new one from our last one, with that little kick of the lunar. And so I add a little bit of that into my waters. Of course, my brushes. This cup, Brett Coppins. I don't know if Brett's still making his ceramic cups. I bought this when I was about 25, 26 years old. He was a fellow classmate of mine. He was a ceramicist major. And I bought 2 of his cups. I think I donated one or one broke. But this one here I have had since my mid-20s. And now I'm in my mid-50s. Just beautiful, and I wanted to use it for my my brushes. Last time I knew, Brett was a teacher for one of the Lewiston school districts back in New York. So, but yeah, lovely new Peloton knife. Although a lot lately I work straight from the palette with straight color or from the tube because it does dry so fast here. So maybe I shouldn't put this up here because then you're seeing all ceiling, and that's annoying. So I'm going to hit this and see what everybody is saying. Just wish I could make that stay up. 25 years old, that was last week. Oh, Lori, I wish it was. Yes, solar power. So Irene, there's solar power. Every time they do a shipment, they put money into charities that replant trees. Again, their paints are all natural pigments. They're minerals handcrafted with earth and mineral pigments. They're archival, again, eco-friendly, plant-based, non-toxic. They have face paints for kids. They even have, we got Easter coming up, so they do have Easter egg coloring dye that is non-toxic, because even though the ones in the stores, Leah was explaining, that say, you know, they're non-toxic, they're made for kids and stuff, there is still toxic, you know, materials that go into them. Me, I'm not so as much worried with my acrylic paints because it's not like I lick them and eat them and rub them into my skin. In college, back in the day, you know, with the paints and the oils and stuff, yeah, they were kind of more all over me. At the 20, so, yep, we'll work one of those dates out. So, Goldens, there are actually a brand that's not bad. They're sold here. These were like $1 something or $2.50 a piece. I got them at Medford Art Supply on Center Street, and they're by Amsterdam. So Amsterdam is not a bad paint either. The Goldens, to me, hands down, the best acrylic paint. I do love my Holbein's, my acrylic gouache that dries permanent, but I try to save those for like smaller paintings. But yeah, so I was going to paint and talk to people, but it won't keep up. Yes, Amsterdam is pretty good. I love the tree planting in here because I live in Ashland. If I need something, I just go to their store and I get automatically 10% off because they don't have to ship, they don't have to use, you know, any, you know, paper, you know, materials or anything. They're expanding, so yeah. There's certain colors that they just don't make that I absolutely love, and I supplement, you know, certain colors with the natural earth paint. I have huge tubes of Da Vinci watercolors from years ago and when they first launched. Wow, $7.99. I remember back in the day going, Winsor and Newton, like $8 a tube. Oh my God, you know. And now, yeah, it's quite, yes, Golden's high quality. Have to give them credit for that. So brushes, I wish I could afford a higher end, but you know, I grab here and there. Sometimes you can find good deals at Walmart. So, um, but yeah. Lori, I'm going to brag about you a little bit more. If you go over to Lori's YouTube, she did a video too recently of her beautiful studio. Oh my goodness, all the things she had laying around pretty much were things I had to leave behind. Um, my oil pastels I had to donate. I had pan pastels I had to give away. So a lot of stuff I had to leave behind. So I'm starting to slowly work up to it. I did get some of the Neo Color 2s, not the ones, because the ones are not water soluble, the 2s. So I've been playing around with those a little bit when I go out to like Lithia Park and stuff. But yeah, so for this series, if you see the cover of her album, she's got a lot of deep browns. And this wasn't even, I was already feeling browns and darker colors, something that, you know, different I wanted to play around with because we have a longer fall season here. We don't have a heavy winter. We had snow on the ground for like 3 or 4 days, and so far that's it. When it does snow, you see it in the mountains. That's really pretty. But then I saw her album, and I was like, oh wow, there's browns and golds. So, yeah. And the other one, I was going to point that to the other two hanging on the wall, but I can do that at a later time. So this one here is going to be my 4th in the series. I have 4 of these, but I have one big one that everybody has seen or saw behind me that one time. I do have another one that I started working on. This is just for like extra paint that I have left over that I'm not using for this one, and I don't like to waste paint because paint's so expensive. So I decided to start working on another one, and I got a feeling I know what song that's going to be. So I have to get probably another couple of these to do all the songs that I enjoy on the album. And so what am I missing here? Right, the idea of having art supplies behind hurts the heart. It sure does. I love the good what? Nope, come back here. iPad. Let's see. I love the good Laurentian color pencils. That's what the poor kids needed. I have not heard of that brand. That sounds Canadian. Yeah. I have been laying gesso on some old paintings to start over. Oh my God, I did that so much back in the day. This is going back in my 40s. I would, grab other paints. I'm like, just slap over, paint over, and then later on do the thing. Same thing. Yeah. Yeah, I had a fresh start, Moira. Yeah, I miss $8 too. Give me the colored pencils with lead in them. The Prismacolor one's so expensive though. They're not supposed to have lead. That's supposed to be worked out of those pencils. But the problem with Prisma is that they were, years ago, they left the United States for manufacturing, went down to Mexico, and the quality of the pencil, especially the casing, the cores were never placed properly in the middle like they were when they were crafted here in the U.S. And so when you get Prismas now, especially if you're buying individual ones, make sure to look at the bottom of your pencils. The leads need to be as close to the middle. They should be strictly in the middle, even diameter around them. But because of the quality that's gone down with Prisma because of being shipped out of country, you will find ones that tend to go to one side more to the other. So try to find something, if it's not centered, as close to being centered as possible, because when they do, when they're not centered, they're likely to break when you're trying to sharpen them, or even if you lightly drop them. I'll say lightly, because even sometimes the good made ones can still, but yeah, the quality control. couple of weeks or so ago, Jonathan. Ooh. The Alma Masters. Yeah, sounds Canadian. I had Laurentian. Oh, Caran d'Ache. That's the Neos, yes. I had their oil pastels. During lockdown, I had the extra money, so I had the oil pastels. I have some of their luminance. I have some of their Pablos. I'm not into colored pencils as much, and now I have all these, I had to leave a lot behind, but some ones I spent money on, I kept those. I like, no, I'm not leaving those behind. The Caran d'Ache, I would eventually like to try maybe some of their gouache, but let's see, crappy that great, yeah. Using soft pastels can be pretty, yes, especially the soft ones because of being airborne. But when you have a good soft pastel though, it's more creamy, even though it's not an oil pastel, and so there's less, chalk, in there. There's less dust. But yeah. Let's see. Store pencils. When did the blue wrench become a shield? I saw that today on, I don't see it here, but I saw a shield on Purple Moon today. Not Lori, Francine and Jan, Silky Steel. They were on talking about Sweet Pea Passion Flower, excuse me. And I noticed that when Roman would talk, the moderators of a wrench, there was a shield. So time is mushy for me. Darn autocorrect, yeah. So I came on to paint, but because I can't keep my my chat on my screen, so I'm just going to do a little bit of a dab here. Just wish I could show you guys what I'm doing. So maybe if I just take me off the screen a little bit. There we go. So here I'm using Burnt Umber from Natural Earth Paint. And just really what I do love about the quick drying though of this, and having to keep my things moistened so that they don't dry up so fast on me. This is what I do. Where's my camera? I just stick it in the hole like that. I have been able to do really nice layers, get beautiful glazing techniques like I would with watercolor. I played with them all, but for me, my oils and my acrylics are still, my favorite. So I was thinking of making this whole area, and I wish I could play the music for y'all. But I wish I could remember the song, the name of the song that this was going to be for. I know all of the others, and now that I want to mention the one that I'm doing, I can't. But what's very cool is on Instagram, I am allowed to use a snippet of their song. So whenever I post one of these paintings, I post the song that the painting I feel reflects the most. And so, yeah. Playing around with shapes and forms. Usually, like I said, I have music going, but because of YouTube and copyright, I can't do that. But what I have been doing is I have been, not hashtagging, but when you put the @ sign to get their attention, I've been putting Florence in the Machines hashtag or whatever on my every painting, just in case maybe she gets to see. So, but yeah, lately it's hard to do a pop-up because there's so many of us now having shows during the day. I was like, I did a quick look-see, and I said, oh, I think the coast is clear for a quick little pop-up. So, but yeah, I think I will just dab a little more, get back into chat. So that this thoroughly dries and I can see. It's just that it is so dry that I just start putting some of the paint down, and I don't know, I do notice because natural earth paint is all natural, and they don't use a lot of the other chemical or ingredients to make their paint a little bit more, not the viscosity is okay, but with the Goldens, there's more of, it's like a heavy body, but still liquid enough. It seems like their paint goes a long way, a little bit further. Whereas this is a little bit more dry, not as glossy. I don't want super glossy, but at the same time, you know, the viscosity is different. But again, it's using all natural pigments without any of the additives. So I think I may leave that there. Let me hit chat and see what we got going on here. Let's see. Mushy, autocorrect, have a happy smoke, enjoy, phrasing. Let's see. Everyone and their dog seems to use snippets or more copyrighted songs. Yeah, because I still don't want to get flagged. I got lucky thrifting a few years ago and found a new Bond watercolor set made in England. Ooh. Yes, Jonathan. It's helped a little. I really just wanted to go full on with Natural Earth because they are local. I love to support local business, and I can get an affiliate link if I go ahead and sign up for it. I just want to make sure that, you know, the paints and stuff, the paintings I'm doing is a majority of their colors, because then I wouldn't feel right saying, yeah, you know, I don't want to misrepresent, you know, I want, you know, there's some people that show on their channel that use straight up only their paint, but at some point, I think a lot of it just has to do really with confidence, maybe getting stuff out there or getting motivated, because with all this training I have coming up for my peer support and stuff, and trying to improve my audience and attendance and things on my channel, it's just, I get overwhelmed with all the stuff that, you know, I need to do. And I don't know, I need a manager. I need an art manager, that's what I need. But yeah, I think that's good for now. I'll let that dry. And then give it a go a little bit later. So I do have, let's see, whoops, no, I don't want to put her out. No one puts Sassy Boo in the corner. No one puts Sassy Boo out the door. Alrighty. Here, let me go ahead and do this again. So, I think I am going to, we all poop out of our butts. Girl, like me, we're on a roll here. So annoying. I got another one for making a video using my Google, which they, oh my God. And yet you can see people using just about anything else. It's just, I don't know. Maybe you have to pay extra. I don't know. Have you tried mixing? Yes. So I go on YouTube strike for recording. My neighborhood freaking out while she had music. Oh, it was private. Oh, that's why you got, yeah. So, even though I can't keep chat up, would anybody like a creative reading for today. How can we focus maybe on our creativity? Something to inspire us. Again, I got my book with the imaginings, offering different ways of how we can get creative. Let me shuffle a little bit to get the card's energy going. I've got my, you know, people are into weird shit. You could some paint mixing ASMR with a spatula. I would love what, Jonathan, of course. So, I separate my quartz. So let's see what court cards you get for your significator. And we'll focus that on the creativity aspect. Jonathan, we got the Queen of Pentacles. Let's see what we else get. So, let's figure in the creativity. Ooh, that's interesting. I just love the colors in these cards. Okay, so let's see. Let's do a recent past artistically. Oh, I don't do reversals, but the Wheel of Fortune came out reversed. At least 3 times today I've said to the kids, we'll get creative about solving a problem. And let's see, future with an underscore. Wow, Jonathan, you're getting all major arcana, dude. Dude, listen to me, dude. Alrighty, so of course your significator is the Queen of Wands, the nurturer. You know, you support and nurture, and but right now let's focus this on not on the family aspect for yourself. So taking time, seeing that this is creativity that we're talking about, getting time to get grounded, find time for yourself. When we do our paint, you're always doing it outside, so going out into nature where you feel probably you're most creative. And for what this is also saying to me is when you create, when you tap into that that nurturing Queen of Pentacles energy when it comes to creating, going out into nature, it helps you feel safe, it helps you feel secure. Financially, you know, you can explore and do what you want when you play. I mean, especially with Ross, you get some good paints at a price. You know what I'm saying? You know, the Queen of Pentacles, she knows how to spend. You know, she's the one that looks for the sales, the coupons, all that good stuff. So just getting really grounded in yourself, into nature. You know, allow that creativity to provide that moment in time, that space for you where you feel, you know, safe and secure in expressing who you are. That the worries, everything going on the outside, you know, stays out there, and that you're just focused, you know, like her. I'm a great buyer when is hiring. So the energy that was crossing her, though, this could be like an obstacle. So some places call it a help or a hinder. But I got the Empress card. So for me, again, it's saying tap into that creative, fertile aspect of yourself, the earth, the sensuality. You know, creativity, you know, is that sense of sensuality. It's, of course, also, you know, a call to action. But with the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles, to me, their energies are very similar because they're both connected to the earth. They're both connected to creativity. So for me, the crossing is you're not being able to do it as much. I know you and your husband, you know, look after your son and the fur babies. So maybe motherly, you know, maternal duties, parental duties, you know, come first, because of course, again, the Queen, the Empress, doesn't have to necessarily represent gender. So we're looking at the energy of, you know, parenting, you know, being the nurturer, being one there to be able to provide and to be able to find. Oh, really? Oh, how sweet. So that's what's crossing. It's you're not giving yourself enough mothering, nurturing time for yourself. I know you're out in nature a lot. You got to swim with turtles. I mean, my goodness, the other day. I know you can't take your paints out into the ocean or into the sea, um, but yeah, tap into that Empress. Tap into her, to get inspired more. Tap into her sensuality, her creativity, um, her set. Just get into all this because she's all about all the senses. She's the emotions. She's the air. She's the earth. She's the fire. Tap all into her essence and to get you to help you get into that moment or into that mindset, that grounding. So recent past, Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Maybe some things were kind of setting you back a little bit. For me, when the Wheel of Fortune is upright, for me that's more of a positive turning of the wheel. But maybe in the past or recent past, there was maybe a backwards turn and things quite weren't. Um, the wheels weren't aligned. The stars, the moon, everything wasn't quite aligned in your wheel, and you just had to kind of wait for that to cycle through. You had to wait for that wheel to spin, and so maybe it was stuck there for a while. Maybe this represents, creativity block, artistic block. I know you mentioned a few times that when you hang out with me is the only time you paint, and dude, I want you to be able to, feel really connected and inspired to paint as much as you can. There you go. And so this recent past, feeling stuck, got to get those wheels into motion again. And your future or outcome light card is judgment. Okay, so finding time. There's going to be a moment where I think you're going to be able to figure something out, and you're going to have one of those aha moments. Every time I say aha moments, I take on me. But also letting go of judgments. We all, my skill is not going to be the same as your skill. It's not going to be the same skill as like a Da Vinci, a Georgia, a Monet, a Basquiat, a Keith Haring. We're all going to be different. A creative rebirth. I see that. So, and part of that is letting go of, any self-judgment on, skill level, technique level, but just creating for the joy of creating. Being able again to tap into that beautiful Empress, Queen of Pentacles with the earth. Your beautiful landscapes. I mean, you're in Hawaii. My God, I'd be like, if I could, at the park or the beach every day, just out there going, oh, the water. So, but your underlying energy is the Magician, Jonathan. So, like Captain Picard would say to number 2, make it so. Make it happen. You have the power, you have the tools. With the Magician, our wands, our paintbrushes. To me, palette knife like a sword. Of course, our water bowls are our cups. And the earth is our paint. So take all your artistic tools and do it. Just do it. And let's read your little inspiration. And I will check chat in a minute. So, for what they suggest for the Queen of Pentacles, and for those of you who maybe not be familiar with this deck, the artist used his artwork along with an AI and created some beautiful pieces, and him and the author. So Jennifer Sodini is the writer, and Yoshino is the artist. And between them, they connect each of the cards with, Kabbalah. If you're want to connect with the Kabbalah with your cards, with your readings. And they also do something called Imagine, which is a creative prompt to get going. And so let's find out what the Queen is. So, Jonathan, for this writing exercise, so maybe a writing exercise that will give you inspiration to maybe create a painting. So, um, for this writing exercise, imagine a room constructed entirely of funhouse mirrors reflecting every possible version of yourself in every potential timeline. Maybe a self portrait, Jonathan? And of course, self portraits don't have to necessarily be something that's easily recognizable. Self portrait can be like what I had to do in photography. We had to do self portraits without really seeing our face. So, and I had to do that for a drawing. So, what did I do? I used the back of a CD for my self portrait, my reflection. Maybe take like a photograph, with their shadow. Just let that empress let that empress just run wild and amok in your creativity house. um, with write a surreal story about a character who embodies your highest self entering this room and engaging with the mirrors. Each mirror presents a different possibility, prompting the character to determine their future. Maybe a self portrait, and in each section of the painting, a different way of painting yourself. Thinking maybe like Frida Kahlo too. Maybe in one section, putting your face maybe with one of your peacocks that are there, or one of your animals. One other, just this is just where my brain is going, Jonathan. Um, and so, however, there's a twist. The mirrors can only speak in non sequiturs. I'm not sure what the word sequitur means. That's a new word. I'll have to look it up. I learned something new today. How about that? So, um, as the character explores the room and grapples with the riddles of the mirrors, they question their identity, purpose, and the paradox of choice. Interesting. And I wish this font wasn't so small. Direction and meaning elude them, yet, with continued interaction, they discern patterns and similarities in the reflections and the seemingly perplexing responses. I can see this being all worked up into an art piece. Very cool. Eventually, the character encounters the mirror that offers the most authentic reflection of who they are and what they generally desire. Perhaps this mirror remains silent, serving as a present reflection. The character merges with this mirror, emerging with a new reality suffused with clarity, purpose, empowerment, and confidence in their chosen path. And empowerment is another aspect that I associate the Queen of Earth, the Queen of Pentacles with, um, because she's confident, like the Empress too. Confidence, empowerment, purpose. That's what I have for you, Jonathan. Very, very cool. I'm looking forward to seeing if try that prompt and what you get. So let me go check out the chat. Da, 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 da. Mix the pretty pins. I would love. Okay, Jax, you got it. Everybody is a critic. Yep. So there we go. Let's see. I am a mama that loves to feed my guys. Aww. So West Coast, dude. Oh, your son calls you mom all the time. I'm the mama. I that's what I thought, Jonathan. That's what I thought. You have that very nurturing, mothering energy. But you take care of yourself last. So this is because the creativity is that part of you that is you. If that makes sense, it's like you're like a major part of your soul. Because I think a lot of us artists are also healers, empaths, and of course, intuition, because it's all to do with the arts and how you use oh, the modality that you use, the acupuncture, excuse me, different ways of using Reiki, acupuncture, art, all these different creative approaches to healing that you need to refill your creative cup, so to speak. Um, let's see. And number 2 was played by a guy named Jonathan. That's right, Jonathan Franks. Oh my God. I didn't think about that. I have a big portrait of me a friend did. Oh, just realized I haven't seen it in a long while. I saw a series of drawings. Dudley did a different substance and then went wild. Results were wild. Cool. Term for argument, statement or conclusion that does not logically follow from the previous premise or conversation, often resulting in an absurd or irrelevant remark. Okay, non sequitur. For example, all the birds have wings. That creature has wings, therefore the creature is a bird. The conclusion does not follow because the creature could be a bat. Gotcha. I've been needing a boost in confidence. There you go. Creativity is a direct connection between the artist and the source of all things, and the magician. So there you go. Alrighty, Miss Jax. I can't see what I don't have my iPad plugged and charging, but I should still have plenty of time. I'm looking at that. That's all dry almost. Oh, looks like we got some rain clouds moving in. Next week we're supposed to be in the 70s. You're welcome, Jonathan. So, girl, you got the Queen of Wands in reversed for your court card, for your significator. Alrighty. I think that was the first time in a long time, well, not first time, but it's been a long time, Jonathan, since I've been able to read for you. It was so funny when I started off, I had 13 people. Hey, that's a lucky number. And speaking of 13, this Friday the 13th, Allison, Aries Girl Tarot, and Tom, Early Ritual. He better be Early Ritual at night. Will be hanging out with me on Friday along with Shan. It'll be Shan's birthday this Friday. And he was also born on Friday the 13th. So we're looking forward to having a fun night, talking about paranormal stuff. And then he can talk about his Bigfoot encounters, his alien encounter as a child. And so it'll be an interesting night of discussions and ideas. So let's see what we got. Alrighty. Wow, some major arcanas. Okay, so Jax, the Queen of Wands in reversed. Oh, and on Monday, boop, boop, boop. So he gotcha. Kathy texted me and he gave orders. Oh. I see. Oh, and Monday Gerald is having me on for a casual. Yeah, it's Gerald. You'll be fine. Speaking of my guys, they should be home any minute now. Bye, Jonathan. So you say aloha too, so we say goodbye. Thank you, Jonathan, for letting me read for you. So Queen of Wands, what is up with that in reverse? So Queen of Wands reversed. Energetic boundaries, self-respect, identifying your absolutely not. Well, maybe we need that kind of energy. But if we're going to look at creativity today, I don't know if there has been in our project, maybe the kids brought to you, or you wanted to do that you were looking at going, absolutely not. Identifying your absolutely not. But yeah, energetic boundaries. This is what seems to be needed for you to be able to focus on your creativity. So yeah, it's a reminder to channel the staring and assertive force and to keep dreaming your larger than life dreams. So any creativity projects. So focusing on creativity, because the creativity helps us get us out of our headspace, especially with, the BS that you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. Now, Julie just popped on. She's an artist too, so have to have her on one of these days. So the moon is crossing you, my dear. So there's, I think right now when it comes to feeling like you can be open and expressing your creativity and, just, relaxing this because of everything that's going on, kind of waiting for that proverbial other shoe to drop. And with the moon card crossing, um, for me, the moon is also about intuition, creativity, exploring the dark parts of ourselves as well. But right now, because some of the anxiety that can be brought up with it, it feels like it's holding back your creativity. Because the Queen of Wands upright, they're confident, they're innovative, and you are innovative. So right now, it just kind of feels like there is something, you feel like there's something lurking in the shadows or something that needs to be worked on where you feel like you can create and express yourself. Um, oh, I see. Okay. So, yeah, there's some sort of, there's a hesitation, because I think for you, your creativity, yeah, your creativity is, um, ooh, I love to see you felting. Ooh, um, so yeah, I think the creative, so for you, your type of creativity is going to be something that's going to be connected to shadow work. And there's going to be a moment where you get that absolutely not. Because sometimes we have to um, not completely repress or suppress, but when the time is right. And it's interesting when I say the time is right because your underlying energy right now is the Seven of Pentacles. So there is a patience, there is a waiting for when you're able to fully, for the moment to fully ripen, where you can go in and be able to tackle what needs to be tackled creatively. Your other card, your top card, tangible energy, is the Hermit. So right now, just a lot of introspection, um, how you want to be able to explore and work on some of that maybe shadow work or moon energy, uh, whether full or dark, um, is going to require, you know, that your queen to be in her confidence and her assertiveness, not in her vulnerable state, so to speak. And I think you already know that there is a sense of patience. But we're going to still take a look at the Queen of Wands. I'll have to reopen. Where did she go? And we're still going to take a look at maybe something you can work on now. Um, Multimedia artist, or maybe this is to inspire you. So when you do feel like you are in that sense of a safety net where you're able to, certain things, are behind you where you can focus on yourself and start tapping into that moon work. It's like shadow work, moon work. I love that instead. So, multimedia artist, musician, and performer Laurie Anderson once boldly stated, "Technology is the campfire around which we tell our stories." For this creative exercise, think about your favorite movie and your favorite album or playlist. How does the amalgam of image and sound represent, feed, or inform your personality, aesthetic, or any other identifying qualities? This is perfect for you, Jax. Now consider this an active meditation. Set an intention to watch this movie on mute and pair it with the album or playlist of your choice. Kind of like what they did with Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd and the Wizard of Oz. Begin the muted movie and the music at the same time. Keep a journal handy. Experience your favorite media from a new perspective and write down any thoughts or insight that arise. When you're finished, write a poem, essay, or short story that recontextualizes both forms of media into something new, refreshing, Oh, something, well, I'm going to say refreshing, but they said reframing your relationship to the subject and how you identify with it. So this could be something too, listening, doing that, writing stuff down. You can put words, what you write into doodles or images, sketches. They have notebooks too, like that, where they put images in there. You can write around them, or you can do and make. You can just make a mess if you want in some of these journals, and that helps with the healing. And I think that's a great exercise, especially for introspection and taking a step back from yourself, and allowing, having that patience to allow things to come to fruition, where you can fully, hit up that moon energy and start exploring all those other aspects and facets of yourself. So that's what I have, and that's what I'm sticking to it. Alrighty, my dear. Oh, we are down to 3. And so I have to make dinner soon. Alrighty, let's see. Back it up, back it up. So, interview by Bobby Wildraven. I'd love to see you felting. Irene says, what is felting? You take wads of felt and you shape it into things. So if you want to see something really cool, Irene, for inspiration for felting, Jamie Sawyer, whose deck I just got, the Nested Tarot. She's the tattoo artist. She has all different things that she creates, and one of her tarot decks that she released that actually Gerald, I think, did a deck casual on. She created felting, and she has some video clip that's showing how she cut the fabric and put it down, ironed it, photographed it. I mean, just absolutely amazing. You can have a lot of fun with that. I've known Judy for 18 years. Wow. Acupuncture treatments? Really? Wow. I did not know that. I got a kit to make some penguins, my spiritual animal. Oh, penguins are your spiritual animals. Yes, ma'am, I have a hermit mode. Can't wait to see the results. Me too. It has stabby tools, low-key excited. I'm really gotta go this time. Okay, bye, Jonathan. I love the feel of felt. I could cut it up forever. Yep, and you can, hello, cat goddess. Yeah, you can, like one of the things too, when I was doing art with the women at the hospital, I was having them even take construction paper, and this is, things that you can find on YouTube and on the net, where you just like rip pieces and then make like abstract, or you try to create something that's, something recognizable, with a flower or something. And sometimes they would draw out the basic shape and then rip off tiny pieces of the construction paper and fill in, the pieces inside. I mean, there's all different things you can do. Girl, have you done the dark side? No, I haven't. But I hear it's pretty cool. You're welcome, my dear. Yes, Jane. Well, that's not quite. Now, there's Jamie, Gerald's Jamie, and this is Jamie Sawyer, the artist. Her name's spelled differently. But yeah. So, I'm probably going to have to end this. Gotta start dinner and it's not plugged in, so I'm probably getting low. I'll have to remember not to do another pop-up live on this, except for my laptop, so I can see and talk to everybody without having to keep pulling this up. We had kids with mothers who wouldn't let their kids get dirty, referred by Child Protective Services. Yes, and different textures, can be the smells, textures, sensations, helping with healing, helping with memories, helping with feeling safe or creative. Basically, using our whole, all of our senses. So, on that note, I am going to say good night. Thank you again, everybody, for joining me, and I will see you next time on my laptop, not my iPad. So, thank you again, everybody. Bye. Have a good night.